Alright, y'all, I'm down here at the lake. Just finished my own challenge. I challenged my homeboys from Black Men Run to meet me down here at the lake and do 5 laps up and down the stairs here at Bradford Beach. None of them showed up, but I'm here and just completed my own challenge. Y'all, it is beautiful down here. It is really beautiful. So y'all see how blue that water looks? Right now I'm sitting up at the top of the hill, because I would have, if I had went back down to get a better view, then I would have had to do them stairs again, and I don't think my knees could have did it today. But you got people down here on the beach. That's not the best quality. I'm doing this from my tablet. My phone is almost dead and I don't have my camera with me. See the people running the hill down there on the beach. Can't see the burger bar from here because it is too many trees, but it is beautiful down here. Alright, so since I got a little bit of time and I don't want to go home and get to unpacking, figure I'll sit down here and give y'all the rundown on why this was the move from hell. Okay, so the previous apartment I was in was on the 3rd floor of the building I stayed in, and you had to walk maybe 10 yards down the hall from my door to the elevator, and then it was probably another 30 or 40 yards from the elevator to the door to move things out. So I knew it was going to be kind of a difficult move, but moving in wasn't as difficult as the movers made it. So I paid a lot of money for 2 movers to come out and help me for 4 hours. It was supposed to take them 3 hours max to load the truck, and then we go over to my new place, which is on the 2nd floor of my new building. And I moved from a apartment building with like 30 or 40 apartments to a 4-family building. So I'm on the 2nd floor, but you know, as soon as you get to the top of the stairs, my apartment is right there. But these jokers took all 4 hours. 4 hours to load my truck. And the biggest problem wasn't even that the distance that they had to walk from the elevator, from the apartment to the elevator to the door outside. That wasn't even the biggest problem. The biggest problem was that they were moving so slow. And I get it. It was hot that day. June 30th, I think we reached probably 95 degrees, which felt like, I think they said it felt like 105. So I get it. You're trying to preserve your energy. You don't want to get out here and pass out, even if you are being paid to do a job. I get it. But the way, as slow as they was moving, it was ridiculous. So they loaded the elevator with a bunch of stuff, and they took it down to the 1st floor. And 10-15 minutes later, I noticed that nobody had come back up. Mind you, they had 2 dollies, so that was making things move. It was supposed to be making things move a lot faster for them. But yeah, they went down to the 1st floor and they didn't come back up. So I went down to see what was going on. They had half my stuff sitting in the hallway and the other half on the truck. I'm like, okay, and all that time, the 2 of y'all with y'all dollies couldn't have loaded all that stuff. It's like, okay, cool. I didn't say anything to them. I just went back upstairs to the apartment, and what I did is I started staging stuff in the hallway, trying to give them a chance to get up there. And when I got the hallway, between just the one wall between the elevator and my apartment door, I loaded about half that wall up with stuff, and then I noticed that they still hadn't come up. So I went ahead and I called the elevator. Got the elevator up, propped it open, and loaded the elevator. The elevator was about halfway full by the time they finally came back up. Mind you, this had been probably a total of 45 minutes from the time they went downstairs to the time they came back up. And so after about the 2-hour mark, they finally, the guy finally come to me and say, well, this is taking a lot longer than we thought. So by the time we get to your other place, we're only gonna have about a half hour to unload you. I'm like, that's fine, whatever. Just right now, let's worry about getting the stuff on the truck. Oh, and I don't think all your stuff is gonna fit. I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. bull crap. But you know, let's just worry about getting what can get on there, what can get on there, and I'll come back and get the rest of my stuff if I have to by myself. So 2.5 hours go by, and they still dicking around. So I figured out what they was doing. They was trying to milk the 4 hours. They didn't want to go over to the new place. So that's cool. Y'all ain't got to go to the new place. So what I did is I went and sat under the air conditioner and I just chilled because I was like, I'm going to have to unload this stuff by myself when I get to the new place. And I assumed it was only going to take me about 2 hours to do it. So I was like, it's already late. Let me back up for a minute. So the huge problem that I had with this move was that it was my fault. I waited until the very last minute to try to get a truck. I should have booked the truck as soon as I knew I was moving, but I didn't. So the week of the move, I was trying to call around to all the U-Haul locations, even try Budget, Enterprise, all the trucking companies, try to see if I can get a truck for Saturday morning. I couldn't get one. As soon as I can get a truck was 6:30 p.m. from U-Haul, and it wasn't even the U-Haul close to that I wanted to pick it up from because that one was close to where I was moving to, so then I wouldn't put all these extra miles on it. So 6:30 I go pick up the U-Haul. The mover's supposed to be there at 7, don't get there until 7:30. Like I said, about the 2-hour mark, I noticed what they were trying to do, so I went ahead and I just grabbed a chair, sat under the air conditioner for a while, and I said, I'm gonna just let them do it. So every time I see them come back upstairs, mind you, by this point they got the majority of the stuff out. I done already said forget taking the dinette set because the base on the table was broke, and I never repaired it. So it wasn't even, to me, it wasn't even worth it, and I was not about to move that by myself. Was probably the heaviest piece of furniture I owned, and it was no way I could move that by myself. So 3 hours go by, they still dicking around. About 3.5 hours, they still tell me all this stuff is not gonna fit, and I'm still saying just get on there what you can get on there. I gotta come back anyway and get my TVs and my grocery, all my food. So just get on there what can get on there. So they're about 3 hours and 50 minutes in, and I'll go ahead and say, okay, I'll come back and get the rest of the stuff. So they go ahead and load the last few boxes on the truck. They leave about 11:25, so they got a free 5 minutes, whatever. So then I drive over to the new place. New place about 10 minutes away. Drive over there. It's 11:35 when I get there, and I start unloading stuff. Like I said, I was thinking it was only gonna take me about 2 hours to do it by myself. Boy, was I sadly mistaken. The heat and humidity wore me out. The sheer fact that I had to run up and down these stairs wore me out. I literally worked from 11:35 p.m. on Saturday night until 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. And the only reason I stopped at 7 a.m. is because I had to go be at work at 7:30. Mind you, I still ain't put a lick of soap on my body. I ain't got a uniform to first on. My sister, who lives around the corner from me, she pulled up to pick me up. I still had stuff outside on the porch that I couldn't get in. I go ahead and I stack the stuff neatly on the porch, close up the U-Haul, take what I could upstairs, the most valuable stuff, and I grab my uniform and stuff and soap and stuff, and go ahead and jump in the car. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry if I smell musty. It is what it is. So my sister feel bad for me. She's like, dude, you should just call in to work, but I can't call in. If I call in, then I'm on a probationary thing where I gotta go 6 months without calling in. So I'm 2 months away from being off that, and if I would have called in, then that would have extended things all the way out to January 1st. I don't want to be on this until January. So I went ahead and I went to work, musty and all. But we got a shower at work, so I made sure I took some clean socks and underwear and some soap. Took that, and we got to work a lot sooner than what we expected. So like I said, we started at 7:30. She pulled off from my house about 7:02. We got to work literally at 7. It was about 7:13 by the time I made it to the locker room. So I jumped in the shower real quick, washed up, put my clothes on, and I worked all day. Mind you, in the other video I told you I've been working 2 jobs. So that on Saturday I didn't work either job because of the move. So Sunday I had to work both jobs. So Sunday morning, I did my day job, and then when we got off at 3:30, my sister dropped me back off at my house, and then she didn't have to do what she needed to do, what she thought she had to do. So she came back around the corner, and she helped me move the stuff that was on the porch. And we didn't have enough time to even look at what was left on the truck because I had to get out of there and get to my other job. So I threw my clothes on for that job, and my sister was nice enough to drop me off that day. So I go do my other job. Had to be there. I think that day I had to be there at 6. And I got off at, it was a Sunday night. So I got off at about 11 o'clock. Somewhere between 10:30 and 11 o'clock. But mind you, I don't have a car right now. So the bus system runs crazy on Sundays. So if I would have waited for a bus, I wouldn't have gotten out of there until 12:30. So I would have sat down there for almost 2 hours after getting off work before I would even been able to go home. So my sister had to pick up her daughter, who was also working down there with me in a different department, and she got off at 12. So since I had to wait until 12 anyway to get on the bus, I rode home with my sister. So my niece finally shows up about 12:30. After we find her through all that traffic, she shows up, jumps in the car, and we drive back to our neighborhood. My sister dropped me off at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I worked for another 2 hours. Yeah. 2, maybe 3 hours. I want to say 3 hours to get the last of the stuff off the truck. So now we up to 10 hours. So, yeah. So it took 10 hours just to get the stuff off the truck. Mind you, the truck was supposed to be back Sunday morning at 9 a.m. I didn't get it dropped back off until Monday morning at 6 a.m. And so I got 3 hours of sleep that night. I went ahead and went to my day job. Summerfest was closed, so I didn't have to work Monday night down there. But my mom had a surgical procedure done, and she was staying overnight in the hospital. So I went out to the hospital to see her, and she let me borrow her truck while she was in the hospital to go to my old place and get my TVs and the other little miscellaneous stuff that I left there and all my groceries. Now, I made the big mistake thinking I was going to come back that same night. So I didn't put my, the refrigerator stayed there. I had a lot of stuff in my freezer. I didn't put the stuff in the refrigerator. So by the time I was able to get back to the other place, all those groceries, needless to say, was spoiled. So I had to throw all that out. Got all the stuff in the truck. Took me about an hour and a half to go from the 3rd floor down and safely get my TVs and everything packed up in the truck. And then at this point, it's like I started that about 8:10. I finished about 9:40, and I could have gone back to my place and just got everything out right away. But I literally had maybe 5 hours of sleep since I woke up Saturday, and it was Monday at this point. So I was like, I'm going to this house. I'm going to sleep. I can't keep pushing myself to the point that I don't get any sleep. So I went to the house and I slept about 4 or 5 hours. I went to bed about 10 o'clock. Actually more like 10:30 by the time I got to the house because I stopped and got something to eat on the way home. And then I woke up at 4 o'clock Tuesday morning. And from 4 to 5:30, almost 6, I unloaded the truck. I unloaded my mom's pickup, my mom's CRV truck, SUV, whatever, with the little stuff I had left. And then I jumped in the shower, took the truck back to my stepfather, and went to work. And that day I worked both jobs. So I've pretty much been going non-stop. So it took me, in all, 4 hours with the movers, 7 hours by myself, so we had 11 hours, plus 3 hours on Sunday night, so that's 14, plus hour and a half to load and unload my mom's SUV, so that's 18 hours. It took me 18 hours to move my stuff by myself over the course of like 4 days. Next time I'm just gonna set the whole apartment on fire, burn everything, and collect the insurance money. Although I would like to, I'm joking. I'm not actually gonna do that. I will hire more professional movers, and they can bring their own crew and equipment and get the stuff out of there. I'll just be more financially prepared to pay more for movers, and I will not be using U-Haul, mover helpers, whatever they call the movers through the U-Haul.com website. I will not use them ever again. This is the third time I use them, and I've had a terrible experience. So that's why this move was the move from hell. I have never taken 18 hours to move. Even when I did a move by myself, I've never taken 18 hours. So, yep, this was the move from hell, and I probably won't be moving for a very long time. So, I hope this story was exciting enough for you. If not, I apologize. Maybe another story time will be even more exciting. And I will go ahead and give you guys an apartment tour once I get everything unpacked and set up. And I'll probably do another tour later on this year or early next year, because I am going to refurnish my apartment in the coming months. So let's see what that all looks like as well. In the meantime, don't forget to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and give your boy a big thumbs up. Share this video and follow me on all my social media. If you have any comments, questions, emotional outbursts, I can't even talk right now. Have any comments, questions, concerns, or emotional outbursts, don't hesitate to drop them down below, or send me an email at efit1981, efit@gmail.com. And for now, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out and get ready to get out of here, because it is overcast and I believe it might rain soon here. So let's get home. Them clouds are looking a little scary. Something's brewing over there. Alright, y'all, I'm out. Peace.